Now that you understand layering in Photoshop, in this section, you're going to learn about selections in Photoshop. So layering is very important in Photoshop, but so is selections. It's very fundamental. When we're selecting in Photoshop, we're really selecting pixels. So there are many different selection techniques. Now you can move layers with the Move tool, and that feels like InDesign or Illustrator where you're moving objects around with the Selection tool, but it's a little bit different in Photoshop. When you're selecting things, you're actually selecting pixels. So there are many different ways to select pixels, and it really depends on what we want to select. So are we selecting a car or something that is really differentiated from the background? Then we're going to use specific tools to select the car. Or are we trying to select hair? Then it's a little bit more difficult to select just the hair compared to the background. Or are we selecting basic shapes? Or do we want to select a color range? So in this section, you'll learn how to make selections in Photoshop and why you would use various tools. And once you make a selection in Photoshop, you can then add a filter to only those selected pixels, or you can duplicate them onto a new layer by pressing Ctrl-J on the PC or Command-J on the Mac, for example. And you can move just those pixels around with the Move tool once they're selected. There are many different uses for selections, so let's get started in making selections in Photoshop.